Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Ms. Bridgewater.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. How are you?
Doing well. I hope you are as well. Good.
Good afternoon, Judge.
Good afternoon, Ms. Grace. Hope you're well as well. Let's see, Ms. Bridgewater, when is the SAP reset date?
April the 2nd.
Thank you. And whenever you all are ready,
Judge, we're ready here over at ACDC.
okay, who do we have?
We have position 8 and 9, Ms. Foreman.
Good afternoon, Ms. Foreman. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Ms. Foreman, you've been charged in position 8, case number 24CR001248D with battery, theft by taking, and willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer. You've been charged in position number 2, case number 24CR001252D with theft by shoplifting. Is there a history? Ms. Harvey, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Yes, 5 cycles. Last arrest September 11, 2020 out of Atlanta for a DUI. That case was reduced to a non-fingerprintable charge. 2017, possession of marijuana less than an ounce. Recommendation for pretrial is level 1. Nothing further.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Pierre Thomas.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Brief facts of the case. I believe the 2 cases are broken up in 2. On the theft by shoplifting, the incident date is said to be March 8, 2024, at the location of 142 Joseph E. Lowry Boulevard, Northwest Atlanta. That is the location of a Four Brothers convenience store. I think it was said that she was stealing snacks and drinks, totaling somewhere between $300 and $400. In the misdemeanor amount. The recommendation on that case from the state is for the defendant to have a signature bond through the pretrial services, to have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, and to stay away from that location. The incident date for the second, where she is charged with battery, theft by taking, and willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer, it is March the 15th, 2024. The location is 130 Joseph E. Lowry Boulevard in Atlanta. I think it said that I believe she struck the victim. Victim here's name is Danny, D-A-N-N-Y, Smetana-Ford, S-M-E-T-A-N-A-F-O-R-D, with a wooden stick, causing him redness. That is the indicia for the battery. I do believe that the indicia for the theft by taking is that it said that I believe she was going into the mailbox and stealing some coupons. And lastly, Your Honor, I think the indicia for the willful obstruction is that I think she's alleged to have resisted arrest. Let me double check, Your Honor. Yes, that is correct. Your Honor, the recommendation from the state as it relates to this charge is a signature bond as well through the pretrial services, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, a stay away from that incident location, a no contact with the victim, and the completion of an anger awareness course. And if you could sound for Mr. Smetana Ford in accordance with Marcy's law, that'd be greatly appreciated, as our office has not been able to get in contact with him. Nothing further from the state at this time.
If Mr. Ford is on the line and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity to do so. Doesn't appear so. Mr. Cook, is this your case? Good afternoon.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, any objection to any of the state's requests?
No objection, Your Honor.
Okay, as such, Ms. Foreman, for position number 8, for the battery, it will be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial, a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial. For the theft by taking, a $1,000 signature bond through pretrial. For the obstruction, a $1,000 signature bond through pretrial. Makes for a total of a $4,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No further contact with Mr. Ford. Stay away from the incident location. And no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. For position 9, the theft by shoplifting, it will be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. Stay away from the Four Brothers on Joseph E. Lowry Boulevard, and no drugs, alcohol, weapons. Good luck to you, Ms. Foreman.
Thank you. We have position 11, Hensley.
Yes, good afternoon, Ms. Hensley. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video. You agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Ms. Hensley, you've been charged in case 24 CR 001250G with battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Harvey?
One arrest, Your Honor, from January 19th, 2016, out of Atlanta for theft by shoplifting. That case was dismissed. Recommendation is a UJR to the jail and nothing further.
One moment, Your Honor. I do believe both parties were arrested in this case, Your Honor, but the allegation from Ms. Hensley's perspective is that she allegedly battered Mr. Justin Howell, Howell, by striking Mr. Howell in the eye and chest, leaving red bruises. Your Honor, the recommendation from the state is a signature bond through the pretrial services, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, no contact with the victim, stay away from the incident location, which is listed as 7340 Teak Court in South Fulton in Fulton County, Georgia, and the completion of a family violence intervention program.
Good afternoon, Ms. McLeod.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. My client is currently unemployed, Your Honor, so we don't have a problem with the signature bond. We would prefer if it would be through the jail, since my client has no history. And the reason why we're asking that, it's going to be very inconvenient for her to be reporting, Your Honor. She does have two small children, a 7-year-old and a 5-year-old, that she is primarily responsible for their care. As the state has stated, it was a dual arrest, and she shares the two children with the cross-defendant, Your Honor. She would prefer no further violent contact, if that is possible, since they share these two children, and not to stay away from the location.
Okay. Given this is her first arrest, it'll be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1, 1-day anger awareness, no further violent contact with Justin Howell, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Good luck to you, Ms. Hensley.
Thank you. Next,
Who's that bond amount again?
$2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1.
Thank you.
next
You're
is
welcome.
position 15, Jacobs.
Good afternoon, Ms. Jacobs. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Ms. Jacobs, you've been charged in case 24 CR 001258A with battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Harvey?
4 cycles, Your Honor. The last arrest was in 2001 out of Clayton County for aggravated assault and theft by taking. That case was dismissed. Recommendation is a UJR to the jail. Nothing further to add.
We got a brief facts of the case is that the law enforcement was dispatched in response to a dispute between two sisters that took place at the Kroger located at 2685 Metropolitan Parkway in Atlanta. The defendant came to pick her sister, the victim, Miss Ethel Edwards, Ethel Edwards, traditional spelling, up from her home at the 2695 Metropolitan Parkway, Southwest Atlanta, Georgia location. The two began arguing over which Lowe's stores to go get in order to pick up the in order to pick up the items. The defendant pulled over outside the Kroger and asked the victim to get out of her car. The victim declined. She stated that she could barely walk. The defendant walked over to the passenger side of the victim, where the victim was sitting, grabbing the victim's walking stick and began striking her in the face with it, causing a laceration to her lip and bruising to her face. The defendant then took the victim's back home and left. While speaking with the victim, the defendant returned to the location in a vehicle that was described from the original arrest. The victim now resides at 532 Cleveland Avenue, apartment 6D, Atlanta, Georgia. And so the state will be requesting for a stay away from that location, as well as the 2685 Metropolitan Parkway Southwest location. The recommendation from the state is a $1,500 surety bond, Your Honor, a stay away from the Pavilion Place Apartments, which is that Cleveland Avenue location, a stay away from that Kroger, which is that 2685 Metropolitan Parkway location, a no further contact with Ms. Edwards, the completion of an anger awareness course, and no alcohol, drugs, or weapons while out on bond. If we could sign for Ms. Edwards and according to Marcy's law, that'd be greatly appreciated. Nothing further from the state, Your Honor.
If Ethel Edwards is on the line and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity to do so. Doesn't appear so. Good afternoon, Ms. Atai.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Okay. Your Honor, my client is 69 years old. She is a Georgia resident. She's employed as a full-time caregiver for a 106-year-old patient. And she's been working with her for the last 3 years and working as a home health worker for about 15 years. When I spoke with her, she was in tears, worried about her 106-year-old client who she needs to take care of. And Your Honor, she does deny the allegations as stated in the warrant. This is her sister. I wasn't able to get in touch with her because I don't have her phone number, but she firmly denies the allegations that she beat anybody with a stick. And Your Honor, my client was transported to Grady because she was hit in the face with a stick, but she just said there was a disagreement between her and her sister about nothing, about something insignificant, and that nothing serious happened. She has no criminal history. I mean, there was a 2001 case that was dismissed. That was 23 years ago. I would ask for a signature bond through the jail. I haven't spoken with the complaining witness, so I wouldn't object to no further contact. Although I would prefer no violent contact, I object to stay away from Kroger. I mean, at 69 years old, I don't think there's a reason for her to have to stay away from Kroger or Lowe's or any of those other things. So stay away from the sister's home address. That's fine. I wouldn't object to that. And nothing further.
And Your Honor, my apologies. Our office was able to get in contact with the victim. She stated she would be unable to attend the Zoom. But what she did state is that this is not the first time the defendant has been violent towards her. She stated that the defendant has been violent towards her for years, but this is the first time the police have gotten involved. She confirmed the events in the warrant. She stated that the stick the defendant beat her with was her walking stick. She states that she is afraid of the defendant and she wishes to have no contact. And she did provide us with that updated residence, which is that 532 Cleveland Avenue location. I'll put that in the chat. And I'd just like to notate that I believe the incident took place at the Kroger. And so that is the indicia for the state's request of a stay away from the Kroger. Nothing further from the state.
Yes, Your Honor, I think no further contact with the complaining witness is sufficient and not Kroger. I don't think a stay away from the Kroger is necessary.
Okay, it will be a $2,000 signature bond through the jail. No further contact with Ms. Edwards. Stay away from the Cleveland Avenue address. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Ms. Jacobs.
Next is position 17, Ken Lock.
Good afternoon, Ms. Kenlock. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state court expedited accusation calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video? Thank you. Ms. Kenlock, you've been charged in case 24 CR 001238A with giving false information to law enforcement. Is there a history, Ms. Harvey?
No, Your Honor. First arrest. Recommendation is to the jail. Nothing further.
And Your Honor, I'd just like to point out that this is the co-defendant to, I believe, Giovanni, where is it? Giovanni Castillo. And so if we want to handle them together, but basically the indicia for this charge is that she gave a false name, looks like gave the last name of Castillo, essentially. Recommendation from the state is a signature bond through the jail, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. Nothing further from the state, Your Honor.
Any objection to any of that, Mr. Cook?
Your Honor, this client was a conflict, and he's only now on the phone with this. I'm sorry, I tried to get in, but only now on his phone with I guess it's Ms. McLeod representing him. I'm sorry we didn't get that in sooner, but so he's actually just on the phone now with her.
Okay, well, we're on Ms. Kenlock, Mr. Cook.
That's right. Yes.
Position 17, Ms. Kenlock, do you represent her?
No, Your Honor, that's a conflict. And I
Oh,
think,
okay, I'm sorry. I thought Castillo was a conflict.
well, no, I'm doing Castillo, and the conflict attorney is doing Kinlaw.
Okay, well, she's on with me right now. Is Miss
Okay.
is this gonna be Miss McLeod's case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Miss McLeod, are you still on with me?
Yes, Your Honor, I am. Which one
Ms.
of my
McLeod,
cases?
this is position number 17. I know that you may not have spoken with her, but I'm gonna give her a signature bond through the jail, if
What
that's
is her
okay.
name, Your Honor? I've spoken to all of my clients.
Position number 17, Ms.
Miss-
Kinlock.
Yes, Ms. Kinlock. Yes, I have spoken with her, Your Honor.
Okay, so my inclination, based on the recommendation from the state, is to give her $1,000 signature bond through the jail with no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Do you object to any of that?
I do not object to any of it, Your Honor. She would like also no further file and contact.
They were not requesting any limitations on contact.
Okay.
We haven't done Castillo, so because the conditions will be placed on Castillo.
Okay, anything further with Ms. Kenlock?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
And if I could just
All right.
perfect the record, Your Honor, she also gave a false date of birth, but the recommendation from the state is the same.
Okay, good luck to you, Ms. Kenlock.
Thank you, Your Honor. And lastly, we have position on the add-on calendar, position 1.
Okay,
Hall.
good afternoon, Ms.
Still in the seat if you want to take care of him because of that.
I can let me hang on and take care of him in a moment. Let me finish completion of ACDC so I can let them go. Is that okay?
That's fine.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, Ms. Hall. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, and good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Ms. Hall, you've been charged in case 24 CR 001266H with willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer and disorderly conduct. Is there a history, Ms. Harvey?
No, Your Honor. First arrest recommendation is a UJR to the jail and nothing further.
Your Honor, brief facts of the case is that the indicia for the willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer is that the officer asked her to, I guess, leave the location or the area several times, to which she refused and disobeyed the lawful commands. The indicia for the disorderly conduct is that she spoke with vulgar and profane language in the presence of a 14-year-old, children under the age of 14 years old. Given the nature of the charges and the limited criminal history, the recommendation from the state is a signature bond through the jail, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons while out on bond. Nothing further from the state.
Is this your client, Mr. Cook?
Yes, Your Honor, no objection to the recommendation.
Okay, as such, for each charge, it will be $1,000 signature bond through the jail, makes for a total of a $2,000 signature bond through the jail, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Ms. Hall.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Judge Morrow, that completes over here. Can we be dismissed?
Yes, thank you so much. I'll see you next time.
Yes, sir. Have a good one.
You do the same. And now we have, this is Mr. Castile.
That is correct, Your Honor.
Okay, position number 4. Good afternoon. Mr. Castillo, I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video? Yes, sir.
Position number 6. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
And you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes.
Thank you. You've been charged in case 24 CR 001246A with battery family violence. Is there a history?
One prior arrest, Your Honor, out of South Carolina from November 29th, 2023, for possession of a Schedule 1, 2, or 3 controlled substance. That does appear to be an open case, Your Honor. Recommendation from pretrial is a level 2 and nothing further.
You know, the allegation is that Mr. Castillo struck Marade Kinlock by punching her in the face during a physical altercation, leaving her eyes swelling up. In fact, while the officers were there, I guess taking a report, they noted that the eye was getting worse progressively. The two have been in a relationship for the last 5 years, and they at the time currently reside together. Recommendation from the state is based on the nature of the charge and the multi-state offender status is a $1,500 surety bond, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, a stay away from that incident location. That incident location is listed as 1102 Tree Ridge Parkway in Roswell, Georgia, and Fulton County, Georgia. A no contact with the victim and the completion of a family violence intervention program. Nothing further to add from the state, as the victim in this case is a cross-defendant.
Mr. Cook?
Your Honor, my client denies the allegations as stated in the accusations. His position is she was the primary aggressor, and she obviously was also arrested. This is his home. I think she has been there maybe a month. And he is from out of state, or just recently from out of state. I think he's been here a little longer. And so we would object to the stay away from his home. He's the leaseholder.
Ms. McLeod, do you have any input on this?
Yes, Your Honor, that is true that he is the leaseholder.
And what is your client's does your client want contact or not?
She does want contact, Your Honor. That's what she tells me. She would prefer no further violent contact between them.
Nothing further, it will be a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2, 1-day anger awareness, no further violent contact with Ms. Kinlock, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond.
Thank
Good
you.
luck to you, sir. You're welcome. Thank you, Ms. McLeod.
Okay, so that.
No.
Okay. Next, Your Honor, is going to be position number 7, Ms. Escobar, position number 7.
Good afternoon, Ms. Escobar. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes.
Thank you. You've been charged in case 24 CR 001247A with theft by taking. Is there a history, Ms. Harvey?
She has one arrest, Your Honor, from November 9th, 2023, out of Douglas County for misdemeanor theft by shoplifting. That case does appear to be open, Your Honor, and nothing further.
Your Honor, brief facts of the case is that the accused is alleged to have taken a black Acer Chromebook, which is a laptop of a value of approximately $80 from the possession of Lashundra, Lashunda, Ferguson, traditional spelling Ferguson. She did so by going into, I guess, her bag and taking the item out. Our office was able to get in contact with the victim in this case. She stated that the defendant was employed as a restaurant associate at Campus Group as a station attendant and ambassador. The victim stated that she is the assistant manager at the location. The victim stated that her bag was in the manager's office and she noticed her laptop was missing. She stated that no one else had access to the office other than the employee. She stated that the defendant has subsequently been terminated and cannot return to the property. That property is listed as 225 Baker Street, Northwest, Atlanta, Georgia, and Fulton County, Georgia. Recommendation from the state, Your Honor, and that's given the presence of that open case for a theft-related crime as well out of Douglasville, is a signature bond through the pretrial services, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, to stay away from that restaurant location, and for her to have no contact with the victim. And if we could sound from Ms. Ferguson in accordance with Marcy's law, that'd be greatly appreciated. Nothing further from the state.
Ms. Ferguson, I see you on the line. If you would like to address the court, you certainly do not have to, but if you would like to address the court, now is your opportunity to do so. If so, I'll need for you to unmute yourself, activate your camera, and I'll have to swear you in. It does not appear that Ms. Ferguson would like to address the court this afternoon. Mr. Cook?
Your Honor, we have no objection to the recommendation.
As such, it will be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No further contact with Ms. Ferguson. Stay away from the Baker Street address, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Ms. Escobar.
Got it. Next, Your Honor, you're gonna go to position number 10, Mr. Craig Franklin Jr.
Good afternoon, Mr. Franklin. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Franklin, you've been charged in case 24 CR 001249J with simple battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Harvey?
3 cycles. Last arrest was June 14th, 2018, out of Atlanta for battery, family violence, and criminal trespass. We received first offender for that case, and it was sealed in 2020. Recommendation from pretrial is a level 1 and nothing further.
One moment, Your Honor. I'm having computer issues. No, the allegation is that Mr. Franklin, the defendant, grabbed Latasha Green about the neck and pushed her against a wall. This statement was corroborated by a juvenile, the daughter of Miss. A moment. I believe the daughter of the victim, last initial S. The victim in this case is Latasha Green, LATASHAGREEN. The recommendation from the state, Your Honor, is a signature bond through the pretrial services, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, to stay away from the incident location, no contact with the victim, and the completion of an anger awareness course. And it is a dual arrest case, so we do not need to sound for the victim at this time. Nothing further from the state.
Mr. Cook?
Your
Oh,
Honor,
I'm sorry, Ms. McLeod. Is this your case?
It is, Your Honor.
Okay.
Your Honor, we are fine with the signature bond. My client is going to need a one-time police officer escort back to the location to retrieve some belongings that he has there, and he is fine with no further contact.
And I'm not sure if I put the location on the record, but it's 509 Lucky Street, Northwest, Atlanta, Georgia.
As such, it'll be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1, 1-day anger awareness, no further contact with Ms. Green, stay away from the Lucky Street address. He can go back to that address on one occasion with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond.
Thank you.
Good luck, Mr. Franklin. You're welcome.
Thank you. Next, Your Honor, we're gonna go to position number 5, Mr. Franklin Beatles.
Good afternoon, Mr. Beatles. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes.
Thank you. You have been charged in case 24CR001245D with battery, family violence, and battery against a female who is pregnant. Is there a history, Ms. Harvey?
7 cycles. The last arrest was a probation violation out of Fulton County, September 26, 2023. There's a 2022 conviction for a hit and run and driving without a valid license, and a 2023 conviction for driving while license suspended or revoked. Recommendation from pretrial is level 1 and nothing further.
Brief facts of the case is that on March 16, 2024, the officer that was dispatched to a person injured fight in progress call at 924 Stonewall Drive, Southeast Atlanta, Georgia, and Fulton County, Georgia. Upon arrival, they spoke with the victim. The victim in this case is Nakie, N-A-K-I-E Page. She advised that they were able to observe that she had a deep gash on her left eyebrow. And she also stated that she was 20 weeks pregnant. When the officers asked her what happened, she advised that her boyfriend, the defendant, had borrowed her vehicle and apparently popped the front tire. I guess they got into a dispute, a verbal disagreement about the everything. He had been drinking, at which point during the dispute, he believed he struck her. A moment. He struck her in the face 3 separate times. I guess he struck her once, and then I think he came back and he struck her 2 additional times, leaving that deep gash. The two live together and they share 1 child together. Your Honor, the recommendation from the state as it relates to this matter is, well, before I go into the recommendation, fortunately enough, our office was able to get in contact with the victim. She states that her and the defendant are in a relationship. They do not currently live together. They share actually 2 children together and have 1 on the way. The victim confirmed the events in the warrant. She stated that has never happened before. She stated that she had to get 3 stitches as the result of the incident. She stated that she is not in fear of the defendant and she is okay with having contact. However, she states that she would like for him to stay away from the location, I believe her new location, which is 1991 DeLoe Drive, Atlanta, Georgia, and Fulton County, Georgia. I do believe that she's on the call today, so if we could sound for her in accordance with Marcy's law, that'd be greatly appreciated. Recommendation from the state, Your Honor, is a $3,000 surety bond, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, a stay away from the 1991 DeLoe Drive location, a no contact with, the state would request a no contact, and the completion of a family violence intervention program, and I'll put that address in the chat. Nothing further from the state at this time.
Ms. Page, I see you on the line. If you would like to address the court, now is your opportunity to do so. If you choose to, I would need for you to unmute yourself, activate your camera, and I'll have to swear you in. Does not appear that she'd like to address the court this afternoon. Mr. Cook?
Your Honor, we have no objection to stay away, no further contact provisions. We would be seeking a signature bond through pretrial at whatever level the court deems appropriate, and we don't believe the family violence intervention program is appropriate at this time. No.
Okay, for the battery, family violence, a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2. For the battery against a female who is pregnant, a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2 makes for a total of a $4,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2. No further contact with Nakia Page. Stay away from the DeLoe Drive address. Third-party transfer of any minor children for visitation. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Beatles.
Your Honor.
Yes.
I'm about to have Deputy Goatee go to courtroom 1 with Mr. Cook, and you can put them in a breakout room with Miss Chancey, the Spanish interpreter. And that's
okay.
For Daniel Aguilar.
Thank you. So, Ms. Grace, when they get there, if you'll go ahead and good afternoon, Ms. Chancey. Place Ms. Chancey into the breakout room.
Okay, Judge, Ms. Chance, and who else?
It'll be Mr. Cook, and they'll be in another courtroom, I believe.
Courtroom 1. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
And this attorney, Your Honor, is going to be position number 12, Mr. Justin Howell.
Well, thank you, Norris. 12, okay. Good afternoon, Mr. Howell. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we are conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Howell, you've been charged in case 24 CR 001235G with battery family violence. Is there a history?
1 arrest, Your Honor, from May 13th, 2016, out of Fulton County for criminal trespass. That case was dismissed. Recommendation is a UJR to the jail and nothing further.
Your Honor, this is the, I guess, other part to that co-defendant case, but basically brief facts is that law enforcement responded to a physical altercation at 7340 Teak Court in Fairborn, Georgia, in Fulton County, Georgia. Upon arrival, they made contact with the defendant and the victim. The victim in this case is Tamira Hensley on the calendar. The victim explained that she and the defendant got into a fight over money that he owed her. She stated that she took the liberty of logging into his email and sending herself money, at which point he became angry and began to grab and shove her. The defendant admitted to picking her up and throwing her to the ground. The victim sustained 2 cuts under her nose from the altercation, Your Honor. The recommendation from the state is, given the nature or the limited nature of his criminal history, is a signature bond through the pretrial services, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, a stay away from that 7340 T Court Fairburn location, a no further contact with Tamira Hensley, and the completion of a family violence intervention program. Nothing further to add from the state at this time.
It's a tie.
Yes, Your Honor. My client is 26 years old. He is the father of 2 minor children. He's lived in Georgia all his life. As you heard, he has absolutely no criminal history. An arrest in 2016, 8 years ago, that was dismissed. He does deny the allegations as stated in the warrant, although the warrant does state that he had bruising. The complaining witness, she requested no violent contact, so I would request the same, no violent contact. Object to a stay away, Your Honor. They live together, but also with my client's mother and sister, and I don't believe that that the complaining witness or the defendant in the other case was ordered to stay away. So I believe no violent contact, and it goes without saying that they can return to the home. And I would request a signature bond through the jail. He's 26 and has absolutely no criminal history. And I would object to the family violence intervention program. Nothing further.
I'm going to give him the same bond conditions as I gave Ms. Hensley, which is a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1, 1-day anger awareness, no further violent contact with Ms. Hensley, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Howell.
Next, Your Honor, is going to be position number 16, Antoine Jones.
Okay. Good afternoon, Mr. Jones. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited. Good afternoon, sir. State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we are conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes.
Is that a yes?
You got to say something.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Jones. You've been charged in case 24 CR 001237F with willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer and fare evasion. Is there a history, Ms. Harvey?
Yes, Your Honor. 28 cycles with arrests out of Georgia and Alabama. The last arrest was April 6, 2021 for battery. That was a conviction, Your Honor. He also has a 2021 conviction for driving on a suspended or revoked license, 2017 bail jumping, 2007 conviction for burglary, and a 2007 conviction for theft of property, 1 FTA from 2016. In addition, Your Honor, there appears to be a probation violation hold out of Gwinnett County. Recommendation from pretrial is a level 3 and nothing further to add.
Got a brief facts of the case is that the incident took place at College Park MARTA station located at 3800 East Main Street in College Park. The defendant alleged to have busted through the fare gates without paying the required fee. That's essentially that. Your Honor, the recommendation from the state is a signature bond through the pretrial services, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, a stay away from all MARTA premises. And that is it, Your Honor. Nothing further from the state.
Mr. Ty?
Yes, Your Honor. I would ask for a signature bond through the jail just due to the nature of the allegations here, Your Honor. He is 47 years old. He is a lifelong he's a Georgia resident, and he works as an electrician for Cleveland Electric. Well, nothing further, Your Honor. He wants to get back to work.
And yeah, and I just notate that the recommendation from pretrial was pretrial as opposed to jail.
Okay. For the willful obstruction, a $2,000 signature bond through the jail. For the fare evasion, a $1,000 signature bond through the jail. Stay away from the MARTA in College Park on Main Street. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Jones.
Right, thank you.
And yes, Ms. McLeod, if your business is complete this afternoon, you're free to go. Thank you so much. We appreciate you being here this afternoon.
Thank you, Your Honor. You're welcome.
Excuse me, Judge.
Yes, Ms. Grace.
Is Mr. Cook in courtroom 1 yet? Because I haven't placed him in the breakout.
He's going to be in courtroom 1. Just give him a minute to log on.
Okay, that's fine. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, thank you. Next, we got position number 18, Mr. Cassius King.
Good afternoon, Mr. King. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Mr. King, you've been charged in case 24 CR 001239H with terroristic threats and acts. Is there a history, Ms. Harvey?
Yes, Your Honor. 13 cycles. The last arrest was in 2011 out of Albany, Georgia, for simple battery, criminal trespass, and willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer. That was a conviction. There's also a 2006 conviction for criminal trespass and a 2006 conviction for simple battery and criminal trespass. Recommendation from pretrial is a level 2, Your Honor.
Afternoon, Mr. Walker.
Afternoon, Your Honor. In this case, law enforcement was dispatched to a MARTA bus. The defendant entered onto the bus, refused to pay. When the driver asked him to pay, he stated to her that I will blow this beat up. Police was called, and he was arrested for terroristic threats. The state is asking for a $1,000 surety bond. No weapons, drugs, or alcohol. Stay away from all MARTA.
So, Ty?
Yes, Your Honor. My client is 56 years old. He has lived in Georgia all his life. As you heard, he doesn't have any recent criminal history. I mean, 13 years ago and 18 years ago, and outside, and more recent than that, he has no criminal history. He does deny the allegations as stated in the warrant, and I think even if you read the warrant, I think that he wasn't really making a terrorist threat or act.
Well, I was
More like a figure of speech, Your Honor. I thought I was speaking now.
Well, you are.
Okay, thank you.
Come on.
I would ask for a signature
Mr. Ty.
bond through the jail, Your Honor. Signature bond through the jail. Stay away from MARTA. I guess I can't do anything about that.
And all I was saying was that it was a threat. They had to evacuate the bus, and they actually had to search the bus with K9. So,
Well, that also.
I thought I was speaking now. I thought I was speaking now. Thank you. So I was saying this isn't something that should be taken lightly. Nothing further.
I think the reaction doesn't prove that he actually made a threat. I mean, the reaction was overboard.
Okay, I'll let y'all battle this out at a later time. For today, it'll be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. 1 day anger awareness, stay away from MARTA, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out.
Hey, I know I hear somebody talk. It's supposed to be just the judge talking.
Okay, thank you, Mark. Did you all get all that or not? Mr. Ty?
Yes, thank you, Your
Okay.
Honor.
All right. Good luck to you, Mr. King.
Yes, sir. Next one is gonna be position 19, Mr. Madison, Shadell Madison.
Okay. Good afternoon, Mr. Madison. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video? Mr. Madison, can you hear me?
Sir.
Okay, thank you. You've been charged in case 24 CR 001240C with criminal trespass and damage to property. Is there a history, Ms. Harvey?
31 cycles, Your Honor, with arrests out of Georgia and Illinois. The last arrest was out of Fulton County for criminal trespass, February 27, 2024. No disposition was listed, Your Honor. There's a 2010 conviction out of Illinois for assault. Recommendation from pretrial is a level 2 and nothing further.
In this case, law enforcement was dispatched to 163 Ponce, it's Ponce Presbyterian Church. The defendant broke a lock to a gate that surrounds the dumpster. The state is asking for a signature bond to stay away, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while on bond.
Signature bond through the jail or pretrial, Mr. Walker?
Through the jail is fine, Your Honor.
Any objection to any of that, Mr. Ty?
No objections, Your Honor.
Okay, it'll be a $2,000 signature bond through the jail. Stay away from the church that's not the Ponce Presbyterian Church, and no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Madison.
Thanks. Next, we go to position number 20, Mr. Daniel Mason.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mazik. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Mazik, you've been charged in case 24 CR 001241F with simple battery. Is there a history, Ms. Harvey?
4 cycles, Your Honor. The last arrest was an FTA out of Douglas County from November 28, 2023. There's a 2023 conviction out of Douglas County for theft by shoplifting. Recommendation from pretrial is a level 2 and nothing further.
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, law enforcement was dispatched to 935 Marietta Street, where they met with the victim, Mr. Arthur Bennett. He advised that him and his boyfriend were in a disagreement and that he became physical and struck him with a fist multiple times. The state is asking for a signature bond through pretrial services, a 2-day anger awareness course, a stay away from the incident location, no contact with Mr. Bennett, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond. And of course, we would sign for the victim, Mr. Arthur Bennett.
Mr. Bennett, I see you on the line. If you would like to address the court, now is your opportunity to do so. I need for you to find a stable place to address me, though. And if you'll raise your right hand for me. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, you can place your hand down. What would you like to tell the court?
Well, we don't, the place where the incident took place at, we was here visiting because we live together. But I had told one of the representatives that called me, I told him that I'm not going to press charges. I'm going to go back to Miami where I live at, and we live in New York together. But if he get out or when he get out, he can go home. But I'm not gonna
Okay.
press charges.
Well, they have not dropped the charges, Mr. Bennett. He is continuing to be prosecuted. This is just a bond hearing this afternoon. As such, my question to you is, do you wish to have contact with him at the present time?
Yes, that's fine.
Well, it's not fine. You tell me. I mean, are you scared of him? Do you want him around?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not scared.
Okay, and do you both currently live in the same location at the present time?
Yes, we live in New York, but the house is in his name.
Okay, and are you all just visiting here?
Yeah, we came down for an event. We're supposed to leave tomorrow. But like I said, we was leaving here to go to Miami for my mom's birthday just coming up. But like I said, I'll go back to Miami and he can resign back at his place.
Thank you for being here, Mr. Bennett.
You're welcome.
Ms. Atai?
Yes, Your Honor, my client is 25 years old. He was visiting Georgia, but he does have family, a mom and a sister here, and he's lived here on and off. Your Honor, he does deny the allegations as stated in the warrant. I don't object to the state's request for a signature bond through pretrial services. I object to the 2-day anger awareness. I would ask for no violent contact that's what the complaining witness has stated, and I would object to a stay away because the incident location is not, it's a friend's home.
Okay. As such, it'll be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No further violent contact with Mr. Bennett, and no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you both.
Next, Your Honor, is going to be position 21, Mr. McCorvey, John McCorvey.
Good afternoon, Mr. McCorvey. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state court expedited accusation calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. McCorvey, you've been charged in case 24 CR 001242B with simple battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Harvey?
One arrest, Your Honor, from April 18, 2012, out of Fulton County for abandonment of dependent child.
Yes,
Recommendation is a UJR to the jail and nothing further.
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, law enforcement was dispatched at 13535. I will spell the street name BLAKMARAL Lane in Milton, Georgia. They spoke with the victim, Miss Allison McCorvey. She reported that her and the defendant have a child together and they are currently going through a divorce. He became upset because she was talking on the phone to another individual. At that time, he did grab her aggressively by the wrist and take her phone from her. We are asking at this time for a $1,500 surety bond, a stay away from the incident location, no contact with the victim, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond. We did make contact with Ms. McCorvey, and she did report to our victim advocate that there is a history of violence. I'm not sure if she is on the line, but we would sound for Ms. Allison McCorvey at this time.
I see Ms. McCorvey on the line. Ms. McCorvey, you certainly don't have to address the court, but if you choose to address the court, now is your opportunity to do so. If you would like to address the court, I'll need for you to unmute yourself, activate your camera, and I'll have to swear you in. Does not appear that she wishes to address the court this afternoon. Ms. Atai?
Yes, Your Honor, my client is 53 years old. He has lived in Georgia for over 25 years. As you heard, he has one arrest from 12 years ago, and that was for an abandonment case. I don't believe that, no convictions. I would say he has no criminal history, absolutely no violent history, and he's 53 years old. He is the father of 4 minor children. He also runs a company of 50 employees. He does deny the allegations as stated in the warrant. As you heard Mr. Walker say, there was allegedly a grabbing of the wrist, and he does deny that. The warrant states that he had a laceration to his face. And of course, he states that the complaining witness was the first and primary aggressor, Your Honor. Since he has no criminal history, he is recommended I would ask for a signature on bond through the jail. I haven't been able to get in touch with the complaining witness. I would ask for no, actually, no, sorry. A no further contact is fine. He would need, I mean, he does live at this home. They've been married for 10 years. I would object to a stay away. Nothing further.
Will be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial. Just let me know when you're ready.
Sorry, Your Honor.
No, you're fine. I just wanted to make sure that I have all the information before. Anything further that you need to tell me?
No, nothing.
Okay. It'll be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1, 1-day anger awareness, no further contact with Allison McCorvey. Stay away from the incident location. He can go back to that location on one occasion with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings, third-party transfer of the minor children for visitation, and no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. McCorvey.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Welcome.
Next, Your Honor, we go to position number 22, Mr. Joseph Michael.
Good afternoon, Mr. Michael. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state court expedited accusation calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Michael, you've been charged in case 24 CR 001251F with battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Harvey?
First arrest, Judge. Recommendation is a use your yard to the jail. Nothing further.
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, law enforcement was dispatched to 1705 Expedited Court, where they met with the victim, Ms. Tran Fan. Her and the defendant are in a relationship together. They were and they also have children together, I should say. They were in a domestic dispute that became physical, at which time the defendant took a plate and threw it at her face. The officer did observe swelling to Ms. Fan's face. We are asking for a $1,500 surety bond, a stay away from the incident location, no contact with the victim, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while on bond. And I do believe that Ms. Fan is on the line, so we would sound for her.
Ms. Fan, I see you there. If you would like to address the court, you certainly don't have to, but if you would like to address the court, now is your opportunity to do so. If so, I'll need for you to unmute yourself and I'll need to swear you in, okay?
You're muted, Ms. Fan.
Yes.
Okay, okay.
Your Honor.
Can you raise your right hand for me, ma'am?
Yes.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, you can place your hand down, ma'am. What would you like to tell me?
Joe is a good dad. So if it's possible, I want him to continue to see my son and call my son, because I don't want to have this incident affect my son. And then also, I and Joe have a business together. So no contact, meaning we won't have work. So I would like to have a limited contact by phone. And then maybe if we have to be on site together, then we have another worker there. Is that possible?
Has this ever happened before?
He never threw a blade to me before. It's the first time.
Are you afraid of him?
I'm sorry.
Are you afraid of him?
Normally, no. It's just that I think he can benefit from anger class.
Okay, anything else, Ms. Fan?
That will be all, dear Honor.
Okay, thank you for being here. Ms. Atai?
Yes, Your Honor. My client is 62 years old. He is the father of one minor child shared with the complaining witness. He has lived in Georgia all his life. He earned a master's degree in finance and has worked for the last 25 years in construction management. Your Honor, they have been married for 13 years. My client has no criminal history at all. This was his very first arrest. And they do work together and live together. I believe that she's fine with no violent contact, but I'm not sure. But I would request no violent contact. I would object to a stay away from their family home. And I would ask for a signature bond through the jail since it is his very first arrest, Your Honor. Nothing further.
Now, if I could just briefly say, the fact that the victim asked if a third person or if another employee could be present while he's present is indicative of that she's fearful of him. So there is concern on the state, on behalf of the state, and we will be asking for a no contact.
Okay, it will be a $5,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2, 5 anger awareness classes. At this point in time, no further contact with Ms. Pham. Stay away from the incident location. He can go back to that location on one occasion with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings. Third-party transfer of any minor children for visitation. And no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Mr. Michael and Ms. Pham, you'll have to get a third party, not only to assist with your children, you to have a third party assist with your business also. Good luck to you both.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Your Honor, you can go to courtroom 2 with the Spanish interpreter.
Okay. And this is what
Courtroom 1, I'm
position?
sorry, courtroom 1.
Okay, and who do I have in courtroom 1 there?
It's gonna be the Spanish interpreter, Your Honor.
This is Daniel Aguilar. I'm not sure about the
Okay, thank you.
Position 4, I'm told.
Thank you. Good afternoon again, Ms. Chansey. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear that you will translate from English to Spanish and Spanish to English to the best of your ability?
I do, Your Honor.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Aguilar. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Buenas tardes, señor Aguilar. Soy el juez Eric Morrow y esta son las audiencias de causas estatales de trámite rápido. Estamos conduciendo esta teleaudiencia a distancia. ¿Está de acuerdo con que manejemos su caso de esta manera? Yes.
You have been charged with battery family violence.
Usted tiene un cargo por golpes y lesiones. Yes.
Is there a history, Ms. Harvey?
¿Hay antecedentes, señor Harvey?
No, Your Honor. First arrest. Recommendation is a UJR to the jail and nothing further.
No, su señoría, este es el primer arresto y se recomienda que se maneje su fianza a través de la cárcel.
Your Honor, brief facts of the case is that on March 17, 2024, the officer responded to 535 Creekside Way regarding a domestic call.
Su señoría, tenemos como registrado que el 17 de marzo del 2024 la policía respondió una llamada dirigiéndola al 535 Creekside Way. It was Creekside where, sir? I'm sorry.
It was Creekside Way, yes.
Thank you.
The victim, Arturo Sanchez, spelled ARTUROSANCHEZ, stated that while he was laying down in his bedroom singing, the suspect.
La víctima, el señor Arturo Sánchez, declaró que mientras estaba él recostado cantando en la cama,
came out of the bathroom and begins to strike him with a closed fist numerous times, causing him to bleed from his nose.
El señor, el acusado salió del baño abofetándolo en la cara varias veces, causando hemorragia en su nariz.
The officer observed several blood stains on the victim's tank top and dried blood from the victim's nose.
El oficial observó manchas de sangre en la camisa de la víctima y también alguna sangre seca en el área de la nariz.
Our office has not been able to get in contact with Mr. Sanchez, so if we could sound for him in accordance with Marcy's law, that'd be greatly appreciated.
El oficial no ha podido contactarse con el señor Sánchez y podemos llamarlo para ver si está presente. Señor Arturo Sánchez, ¿está presente en la plataforma? Por favor, prenda su cámara. Arturo Sánchez.
Thank you. The recommendation from the state is because of the defendant's limited criminal history, a signature bond through the pretrial services, No,
Debido a que no hay antecedentes en este caso, antecedentes penales, se recomienda una fianza bajo firma a través de los servicios previos al juicio.
no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. A stay away from the location of 535 Creekside Way, Roswell, Georgia.
Queda prohibido el uso de drogas, alcohol y armas y mantenerse alejado de la dirección 535 Creekside Way en Roswell, Georgia.
No contact with Mr. Sanchez and the completion of an anger awareness course. Nothing further to add from the state at this time.
Y también no tener ningún tipo de contacto con el señor Sánchez y tomar una clase del manejo de la ira, y eso es todo para la fiscalía.
Mr. Cook?
Señor Cook.
Your Honor, my client would make a general denial of the allegations.
Mi cliente hace una negación general ante los alegatos
As stated in the warrant,
que están estipulados en la orden de arresto.
however, we have no objection to the conditions of bond.
Sin embargo, no tenemos ninguna objeción ante las condiciones para obtener la fianza,
With two exceptions.
excepto dos.
We would be seeking a signature bond through the jail.
Queremos solicitar una fianza bajo firma a través de la cárcel.
And we would object to an anger awareness course at this time.
Y también objetamos ante la necesidad de tomar una clase de manejo de la ira en este momento.
Nothing more.
Nada más.
So he doesn't need to go back to the Creekside Way address for anything, Mr. Cook?
Él no necesita ir a la casa por algún motivo.
Yes,
Señor
I'm
Cook.
sorry. I'm sorry, Your Honor. Yes, one-time visit to get his belongings.
Sí, discúlpeme eso, señoría. Una sola vez, una sola visita para ir a retirar sus pertenencias personales.
Okay, as such, it will be a $2,000 signature bond through the jail.
Entonces, será como tal la sentencia de $2,000 de fianza bajo firma a través de la cárcel.
No further contact with Mr. Sanchez.
Ningún contacto más con el señor Sánchez.
Stay away from the Creekside Way address.
Tiene que mantenerse alejado de la residencia que está en Creekside Way.
He can go back to that address on one occasion with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings that he might have there.
Puede usted regresar solo una vez con un oficial de policía que lo acompañe para retirar sus pertenencias personales.
No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond.
Y queda prohibido el uso de drogas, alcohol y armas mientras usted esté bajo fianza.
Good luck to you, Mr. Aguilar.
Buena suerte, señor Aguilar.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, do we need Ms. Chancey for any other cases this afternoon?
I have nothing further with her, Your Honor.
Okay.
Your Honor, there's one that wants to use her.
Yes, my client, if just in case, if he needs any explanation in Spanish, we would like to have him. And also, Your Honor, his wife may need to have a translator.
Okay, so this is
This is the add-on to Mrs. Zuniga. Alejandro.
okay. Good afternoon, Mr. Nuziga. I am Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we are conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Buenas tardes, señor Zuniga. Soy el juez Eric Morrow. Estas son las causas estatales de trámite rápido y estamos conduciendo esta audiencia, teleaudiencia a distancia. ¿Está de acuerdo con que sigamos su caso de este modo?
Sí.
Yes.
You've been charged with battery family violence.
Usted tiene un cargo por golpes y lesiones, violencia familiar.
Is there a history, Miss Harvey?
¿Hay antecedentes, señorita Harvey?
5 cycles. The last arrest was March 13th, 2021 for driving without a valid license out of Roswell.
Hay 5 ciclos. El último fue el 13 de marzo del 2021 por manejar sin licencia en la ciudad de Roswell.
There's a 2017 conviction for driving without a valid license. The recommendation from pretrial is level 1. Nothing further to add.
Hay una convicción por manejar sin licencia en el 2017 y la recomendación es el nivel 1.
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, law enforcement was dispatched to 10290 Alpharetta Street, where they spoke with the victim, Miss Marcela Lopez.
Sí, su señoría, la policía fue dirigida al 10210 de Alpharetta Road, en donde se contactó con Marcela López.
She advised that they have been together for 8 years and have 2 children. However, they do not live together.
Ellos vivieron juntos por 8 años, tienen 2 hijos, pero no están juntos ahora.
They were having a verbal disagreement that turned physical at the point that the defendant kicked the victim, Miss Lopez, in her thigh.
Tuvieron una discusión verbal que se volvió física y el acusado golpeó a la víctima, pateó a la víctima en el muslo.
The officer did observe a bruise or visible injury to Miss Lopez.
El oficial vio moretón o lesión física en la señora López.
We have had contact with the victim. She has advised that they do have a history of domestic violence, and this is not the first time. And she has called the police multiple times.
Hemos contactado a la víctima y han tenido, no es la primera vez que sucede y han habido momentos agresivos en múltiples ocasiones.
The state is asking for a $3,000 surety bond, no contact with Miss Lopez, a stay away from her residence, which is 134 Creekside Way in Roswell. No contact, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond.
Lo que pedimos es que $3,000 de fianza bajo garantía, no tener contacto alguno con la víctima, que se mantenga distanciado del 134 Creekside Way y, como dije, no tener ningún contacto y queda prohibido el uso de drogas, alcohol y armas.
Nothing further from the state at this time.
Nada más de parte de la fiscalía en este momento.
Let's see, if Ms. Lopez is on the line and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity. Would you sound for her, please, Ms. Chansey?
Sí, en este momento sí, la señora López está presente en la plataforma y quiere dirigirse a mí. Este es el momento para hacerlo. Por favor, prenda su cámara. Was it Marcela López? Am I correct?
I believe so. Yes.
Señora Marcela López, si está en la plataforma, prenda su cámara, por favor, para hablar con el juez.
Doesn't appear so. Yes, Ms. Kim.
Yes, Mr. Zuniga is 46 years old and he is a U.S. citizen. He has been here in Georgia for more than 20 years, Your Honor.
Su señoría, el señor Zuniga tiene 46 años de edad, es un ciudadano estadounidense y ha vivido en el estado de Georgia durante 20 años.
And he's gainfully employed as an electrician for the last 7 years.
I'm sorry, Miss Kim, where?
Electrician,
Oh,
licensed electrician.
thank you. Y el señor se dedica a ser electricista, lo que ha ejercido durante 7 años.
He denies the allegation. He was bitten by Miss Marcela Lopez first with a stick.
He was
He was bitten by,
hit or bitten.
either way. He was hit by the stick.
Okay, thank you. Él alega que él fue golpeado con un palo por la señora López.
And there was a camera that recorded that incident, so he can prove that he was not an initial aggressor.
Y había una cámara que puede comprobar de que ella fue la agresora, por eso él niega el alegato.
He has no objection to stay away and have no contact with her as long as he has third-party transfer for his 2 children.
Él no tiene ninguna objeción de mantenerse alejado de ella y no tener contacto con ella, mientras tanto se pueda asignar una tercera persona para transportar los niños y por la visita.
Since it was his self-defense, we would like to ask for signature on bond for pretrial level 1 as he is recommended so.
Entonces, debido a esto, queremos solicitar que se le otorgue una fianza bajo firma a través de los servicios previos al juicio.
Nothing further from defense, Your Honor.
Nada más de la defensa, su señoría.
It will be a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1.
Va a ser entonces una fianza de $3,000 bajo firma a través de los servicios previos al juicio del nivel 1.
1 day anger awareness.
Y tomar una clase de concientización de la ira.
No further contact with Ms. Lopez.
No tener más contacto alguno con la señora López.
Stay away from the Creekside Way address.
Y mantenerse alejado de la dirección en la calle Creekside Way.
Third party transfer of any minor children for visitation.
Tiene que asignarse una tercera persona para transferir o transportar los hijos durante la visita.
And no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond.
Y se prohíbe el uso de drogas, alcohol y armas durante el tiempo bajo fianza.
Good luck to you, sir.
Buena suerte, señor.
Okay, let's see. Do we need the assistance of Ms. Chancey for any other, anyone else this afternoon?
I believe that was all.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Chancey. As
You're
always,
welcome,
we
sir. Have a
appreciate your
good
help.
evening.
Do the same.
Your Honor, we're gonna go back to position number 24, Mr. Eddie Rowell. Rowell.
Okay,
Hey, hold the noise, fellas, hold the noise.
good afternoon, Mr. Rowell. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. You've been charged in case 24 CR 001253E with battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Harvey?
Yes, Your Honor. 19 cycles with arrests out of Georgia and South Carolina. The last arrest was out of DeKalb County, October 28, 2023. Possession of a Schedule 4 controlled substance, crossing the guard lines with weapons, intoxicants, or drugs without consent, and possession of methamphetamine. That was a conviction, Your Honor. There's also a 2011 conviction for driving on a suspended license and a 2002 conviction for possession of a controlled substance, at least 1 probation violation, and 2 FTAs in the history. Recommendation from pretrial is a level 3 and nothing further.
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, law enforcement was dispatched to 480 Bolton Road, where they met with the victim, Ms. Angelica Hargrove. She advised that her and the defendant have lived and been together for around a year at this point. They were having a disagreement that turned physical. The defendant did punch the victim in her face, causing swelling to both of her eyes that was observed by the officer. The state is asking for a $2,500 surety bond, no contact with the victim, a stay away from the incident location, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while on bond. I'm not sure if Ms. Hargrove is on the line, but we would sound for her.
If Ms. Hargrove is on the line and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity to do so.
Your Honor, she was also arrested and taken into custody.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Kim. Doesn't appear that she's with us. Yes, Ms. Kim.
Yes, Your Honor, my client, Mr. Rao, is 46 years old, and he has been gainfully employed at Main One Mediation. However, he's afraid that he is going to be fired if he does not get out as soon as he can. He's been here in Georgia for more than 15 years, and Your Honor, all those charges were not really related to violence, and this is his first time being involved in any kind of battery family violence. And we would like to request for a signature on bond pretrial level 3 as he is recommended to. They do not have any children together. And since she is also incarcerated, there's no reason to stay away or to have no contact since it's going to be no contact.
Okay, well, I'm going to issue, regardless of that she is also in custody. I'm not sure, if she's going to be before me or somebody else, but anything else you want to tell me about the location on Bolton Road?
Yes, Your Honor, that is my client's place, and the girlfriend was actually visiting, and she does not reside there.
Okay, well, the warrant says otherwise, and the warrant says that they have resided together for a year, so that doesn't sound like a visit.
But that is in his name.
Okay, well, at the point that you live somewhere for a year, that's also your legal residence. That's not considered a visit to live somewhere for a year.
Your Honor, we would like to clarify that they have been there, but they have not lived together for 1 year.
Okay, well, the warrant says otherwise, but I digress.
Okay, it will be a $5,000 signature bond through pretrial level 3, 1-day anger awareness, no further contact with Ms. Hargrove. He can go back to the Bolton Road address with law enforcement. If Ms. Hargrove is not there, then he can remain there. If Ms. Hargrove is there, then he will have to find someplace else to reside. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you. Next, Your Honor, is going to be position number 25, Mr. Sims.
Okay, good afternoon, Mr. Sims. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Sims, you've been charged in case 24 CR 001255H with willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer and simple battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Harvey?
12 cycles. The last arrest was July 15, 2021, for aggravated assault and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. That was a conviction. There's a 2016 conviction for criminal damage to property and willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer. A 2012 conviction for robbery. Also 2012 possession of tools for commission of a crime and willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer. At least 2 probation violations in the history. Recommendation from pretrial is level 2 and nothing further.
In this case, law enforcement was dispatched to 14 Johnson Road, where they met with the victim, Ms. Shamaya Barber. She advised that her and the defendant lived together. They were in a verbal disagreement that turned physical. The defendant kicked a door that struck the victim in her face. The state is asking for a $2,000 surety bond to the count of simple battery family violence. He also gave flight to the officer that was on scene to that count of obstruction. We're asking for $1,000 surety bond. We're asking for no contact with Ms. Barber, a stay away from the incident location, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while on bond. And of course, we sound for the victim. I see a Brianna Barber. I'm not sure if that's the victim, but we would sound for Ms. Shamaya Barber.
Ms. Shamara Barber is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity to do so. If you'd like to address the court, I'll need for you to unmute yourself and I'll have to swear you in. Is this Ms. Shamar Barber that's before me here? Ms. Barber, if that's you and you want to address the court.
Your Honor, I believe Brianna Barber was at the incident and she is a witness to this incident.
Okay. Well, if Ms. Brianna Barber would like to address the court. Ma'am, would you like to address the court this afternoon? Okay, raise your right hand for me. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give with the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, what would you like to tell the court?
He's not in a relationship with Shamaya Barber. Me and him is in a relationship. Me and Shamaya was in the altercation. He wasn't here. I have proof on my phone that me and him was on FaceTime. Me and her was in the altercation. She lied when the officer got here and said that her and him, me and him in a relationship.
Okay, so who lives at the 14 Johnson Road address?
Me and her. My brother is also on, Demario Barber is also on the line as a witness to this. The fight or the altercation was never with him. It was between me and her. Me and her got into an altercation.
Okay, so I'm sorry, ma'am. Tell me again. So Shamara, that's your sister?
Yes, me and her are sisters. Me and
Okay,
her got
so
into the altercation.
you and Miss Shamara, both of you live at the Johnson Road address, and you're telling me that you are Mr. Sims's girlfriend.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else that you want to tell me this afternoon?
My brother is also online. He's a witness too, Demario Barber.
Okay. You have any questions, Mr. Walker, Miss Brianna Barber?
I don't, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Barber. Now, if Mr. Demario Barber wishes to address the court, you don't have to, but if you wish to address the court, you'll have to unmute yourself, activate your camera, and I'll have to swear you in. Okay, go ahead. Doesn't appear that he wishes to. Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor, my client, Mr. Sims, is 30 years old. He was born and raised here in Georgia. Your Honor, he was gainfully employed. He has been working for a maintenance company at apartment complex at Riverdale, and he is very afraid that he's going to lose his job because of this incident. He was not the one, but however.
All right, this is Demario Barber. And
Okay,
I do wish
yes,
to speak.
okay, Mr. Barber, I'll be with you in a moment, okay?
Okay.
Go ahead, Ms. Kim.
So he does not understand why he's the one who was arrested, instead, even though he was not involved in this kind of thing, he was not in the altercation with anybody. Your Honor, we would like to request for a signature on bond through pretrial level 2, as he is recommended so, and because of the possibility that he's going to lose his job, and also he has 3 minor children, not with his girlfriend, but he has 3 children from another previous in relationships. So he is living with them and he has to support 3 minor children. So we would like to, I want to make sure that he still keeps his job. So that's all, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Now, Mr. Demario Barber, if you'd like to address the court, I need for you to raise your right hand.
Okay.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, you can place your hand down. What would you like to tell me?
I would like to say that the altercation had started. It was just she antagonized. It started off as just trying to get her upset, to make her want to fight her, trying to get her riled up to leave her room and try to attack her.
Who is her?
My sister, Shamaya.
Okay,
She tried to
Okay.
antagonize Brianna to try to attack her.
okay. And do you live in the household with them?
Yes, I was downstairs.
Okay, so you and your two sisters live at the Johnson Road address.
Yes.
Okay. Anything further?
Um,
So you're telling me that Mr. Sims was not involved in this altercation?
no, he was not.
Okay.
He was trying to get me to make sure that she didn't join into the that she didn't fight, and just to make sure that she was able to go upstairs to her room to be able to get her things so she could be able to leave.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Barber.
Your Honor, if I
Let's
can
see.
briefly say,
Yes, Mr. Walker.
the warrant says the victim identified the defendant as being the person who kicked the door that hit her in the face. And they also all lived together. And the last person who testified, Demario Barber, is just that he was downstairs. So to me, that sounds like he wasn't present. But nonetheless, the state is still standing on its request, and that's it.
Excuse me, all of us was downstairs. Me and her got into an argument upstairs, but all of us came downstairs.
Right. So this sounds like
He
it
wasn't here.
started.
I got the
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna let y'all work
I
this
got
out.
my phone when me and
Miss
him was on
Miss
FaceTime. He
Barber,
was outside. I had my phone when me and him was
Miss
on
Barber.
FaceTime.
I'm gonna let y'all work this out at a different time. As far as today goes, I don't think that it's a good idea for Mr. Sims to be around the Johnson Road address or Shamara Barber. So I'm gonna have him not come around that Johnson Road address, and he's to stay away from Shamara Barber. I think it's in his best interest, given what y'all are telling me. So it's for the willful obstruction. It's going to be $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. For the simple battery, it's going to be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. Makes for a total of a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No further contact with Shamara Barber. Stay away from the Johnson Road address, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. All right. Good luck to you, Mr. Sims.
Thank you.
And both of the Barbers also.
Next, Your Honor, is going to be position number 26, Mr. Sutton.
Good afternoon, Mr. Sutton. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state court expedited accusation calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Sure.
Thank you. Mr. Sutton, you've been charged in case 24 CR 001259A with 2 counts of willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer. Is there a history, Ms. Harvey?
Yes, Your Honor, 29 cycles. The last arrest was January 4th, 2024, out of Fulton County for possession of a Schedule 1 or 2 controlled substance. There are at least 2 FTAs and 2 probation violations in the history. A 2012 conviction for simple assault, battery, 2015 aggravated battery, entering auto. That appears to be an active probation case, Your Honor. Also a 2014 conviction for criminal trespass. Appears to be on probation for aggravated assault, sentenced in 2021 to 8 years probation. 2 additional open cases out of Fulton County. There's an open case for possession of a controlled substance, Schedule 1 or 2, with intent to distribute, and an open case for possession of a Schedule 1 controlled substance and willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer. Recommendation is a level 3 and nothing further.
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, the defendant was recognized by Officer Thomas and Officer John as a wanted person. As he was riding a bicycle on Lee Street, they went to make contact. He did give flight to both officers as he was arrested. It was determined that he was, in fact, wanted, had a open warrant or an active warrant for aggravated assault. The state is asking for a signature bond through the jail, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out bond.
No objection, Your Honor.
Okay, for each count, it'll be a $500 signature bond through the jail. So it makes for a total of $1,000 signature bond through the jail. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Sutton.
Thank you, sir. Next, Your Honor, is going to be position number 27, Mr. Wayne Tripp.
Good afternoon, Mr. Tripp. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Tripp, you have been charged in case 24 CR 001260Y with battery. Is there a history, Ms. Harvey?
Yes, Your Honor. 32 cycles. The last arrest was March 22nd, 2023, out of Atlanta with the Atlanta Police Department for possession of cocaine and possession and use of drug-related objects. There's a 2005 CWAC conviction, a 2005 battery, 2011 failure to register conviction. Recommendation for pretrial is a level 3 and nothing further.
Yes, sir. In this case, law enforcement was dispatched to Garnett and Forsyth Street where they met with the victim, Mr. Sylvester Williams. This appeared to happen outside in the public at that intersection. The two were having some type of disagreement. The defendant picked up a rock and hit the victim in the face, causing the victim to bleed profusely. The state is asking for a $2,000 surety bond, no contact with the victim, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond.
Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. My client, Mr. Trick, is 59 years old, and he does have a part-time job as a security. He has been doing that for the last 6 years, and he does have a little bit of MH issues and medical condition, and we do want those to be considered. And Your Honor, he denies the allegation, and it was complete self-defense for him. We would like to request for a signature on bond through a pretrial level 3. Thank you very much, Your Honor.
All right, a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 3. No further contact with Mr. Williams, and no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Mr. Walker, did you ask for a stay away? I'm sorry.
It happened at an intersection, so
Okay.
I just asked for no contact with the victim.
All right, very good. Thank you. Good luck to you, Mr. Tripp.
Thank you. Next is going to be position number 28, Mr. Dontavius Wilcox.
Good afternoon, Mr. Wilcox. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video? I'm sorry, was that a yes?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Wilcox, you've been charged in case 24 CR 001263G with simple battery, family violence, and criminal trespass and damage to property. Is there a history, Ms. Harvey?
2 cycles. The last arrest was out of Fulton County, December 22nd, 2017 for theft by shoplifting. That case was dismissed. Defendant is recommended for UJR to the jail and nothing further.
In this case, Your Honor, law enforcement was dispatched to 904 Dolly Avenue where they met with, well, I'm sorry, I read the wrong address, 3314 Villa Circle where they met with Miss Rosa Wilcox. She is the mother of the defendant. They had a disagreement about the company that he had invited over to her home. He became disrespectful, actually struck his mother and broke her screen door. The state is asking for a signature bond through pretrial services, no contact with his mother, Miss Rosa Wilcox, a stay away from the incident location, a 2-day anger awareness, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond. I'm not sure if Miss Wilcox is present, but we will sound for her.
If Ms. Wilcox is on the line and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity to do so. Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor, my client is 32 years old, and Mr. Wilcox resides with his mother, and they have been here in Georgia for all his life. Your Honor, we would like to prefer no further violent contact as a mother and son. He denies the allegation, and he does have he's working as a server, and he does a lot of cleanup. We would like to request for signature on bond through jail and no further violent contact. Thank you.
Has anyone spoken to Rosa Wilcox?
One second.
Okay,
So we did make contact with her. She said that she confirmed the events in the report, but she does not mind him coming home. However, because she is elderly, the state is concerned that you respect her own mother. So we're still asking for a no contact.
okay. For the simple battery, it'll be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. For the criminal trespass, $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. Makes for a total of a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. 1-day anger awareness. No further contact with Rosa Wilcox. Stay away from the Villa Circle address. You can go back to that address on one occasion with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Wilcox.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Next is position number 29, Mrs. Nathaniel Wilder.
Good afternoon, Mr. Wilder. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Wilder, you've been charged in case 24 CR 001264F with battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Harvey?
22 cycles with arrests out of Florida and Minnesota. The last arrest was March 26, 2022 out of Florida for a moving traffic violation. There's a 2014 conviction for financial transaction card fraud, 2011 driving without a valid license, 2009 driving without a valid license. Recommendation from pretrial is a level 1 and nothing further.
This case, Your Honor, law enforcement was dispatched to 904 Dolly Avenue where they met with the victim, Miss Michelle Wilder. She advised that she is married to the defendant. They were having a verbal disagreement and he struck her in her arm, causing a visible bruise that was observed by the law enforcement officer. The state is asking for a signature bond through pretrial services, a stay away from the incident location, no contact with the victim. We are asking for a family violence intervention program, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out bond.
Can be spoken with Ms. Wilder.
We have not, Your Honor.
If Ms. Wilder is on the line and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity to do so. I'm not sure if that's her there or not, but go ahead, Ms. Kim.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Wilder is 54 years old and his wife is still looking for a job. His wife does not have a job. He's the only one who is gainfully employed. They moved from Florida to Georgia about 1.5 months ago, and he is gainfully employed. He's painting houses at South Cobb County. He does renovation. He recently broke his foot, so he's having a hard time to walk, and he does need to take medical attention. And we would like to request for signature on bond through pretrial as he is recommended, and also no further violent contact with his wife.
Have you had spoken with Ms. Wilder, Ms. Kim?
No, I have not been able to reach her, Your Honor.
Okay. It will be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. 1-day anger awareness. At this point in time, since no one has spoken with Ms. Wilder, no further contact with Ms. Wilder, stay away from the Dolly Avenue address. You can go back to that address on one occasion with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond.
Your Honor, they do have a granddaughter together. They have a custody of 14 years old granddaughter. Can he have a third-party transfer for?
Of course, Ms. Kim, third-party transfer of any minor children for visitation.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Next, Your Honor, we're gonna go back to the add-on calendar.
Okay.
2, Mr. Lafayette Hines.
I have that as Zuniga. Wait,
What's that, Mr. Walker?
position 2 on the add-on, I have that as different.
Scientist position, one.
Oh, position 1. Okay.
Okay, I think there was an
There was an
add-on.
updated one.
Yeah, there was an updated add-on
Yeah.
calendar that was sent out.
Understood.
On the updated was Monica Hall.
Okay.
Okay,
I'm sorry, that's mine.
so this is Mr. Hines. Good afternoon, Mr. Hines. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state court expedited accusation calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Hines, you've been charged in case 24 CR 001267C with loitering and prowling and criminal trespass. Is there a history, Ms. Harvey?
Yes, Your Honor, 4 cycles. The last arrest was in 2015 for a probation violation out of Newton County. There's a 2005 conviction for armed robbery, aggravated assault, and possession of marijuana. Recommendation from pretrial is a level 2 and nothing further.
Your Honor, the brief facts of this case is that the defendant was seen by the security guard outside of various restaurants near the intersection of Marietta Street Northwest and Howell Mill Road Northwest here in Fulton County, Georgia. The defendant was following closely behind women, putting his body up against various cars that he did not own, and reaching for the door handles of those various cars. He also interfered with Valley.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Pierre, I'm sorry. I just want to make courtroom 2 has gone dark, and I want to make sure that. Okay, at least the camera's back on. Go ahead.
Okay. He pressed his body up against the various cars that he did not own. He reached for the door handles of the various cars which he did not own. And he interfered with valet parking by standing near the door's side while the driver was exiting the vehicle. He also refused to leave the property, that property being Emmy Square Pizza located at 1009 Marietta Street Northwest, Unit A. Upon being asked to leave by the security guard, and also once he was officially detained by the law enforcement officers, he refused to identify himself. The recommendation from the state, Your Honor, is a signature bond through the pretrial services, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, and a stay away from that Emmy Square Pizza.
And if that is Emmy Square Pizza, is that the 1009 Marietta Street address?
That is correct, Your Honor, and I'm not sure if we need to specify, but it's Unit A.
That's Mr. Ty.
Yes, Your Honor. My client is 41 years old. He is the father of 1 minor child. He's lived in Georgia all his life. He is employed working 2 jobs. He does deny the allegations as stated in the warrant. The only warrant I saw was for loiter prowl at 11 o'clock on Friday night in what sounds like a busy area that a lot of people are around. He does deny that. He states that he was waiting for his lift. The warrant, as you heard, I mean, walking closely behind people, reaching for car doors. I don't know what the warrant's even alleging. But he does deny the allegations as stated in the warrant. He has the criminal history that we heard was from 19 years ago, 9 years ago, so nothing recent at all. I would ask for a signature bond through the jail. I won't object to stay away from that pizza place, and nothing further.
It'll be $1,000 signature bond through the jail on each count, makes it a total of a $2,000 signature bond through the jail. Stay away from 1009 Marietta Street, Unit A, and no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Hines.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Your Honor, I have a few announcements.
Okay.
Positions 1 through 3, it's going to be a medical reset.
All right, we'll reset those for 319.
Position 13, the bond was paid. They bonded out.
Okay. I'm sorry, which one was that?
13.
13, okay.
Position 14 and position 23, they both waived their presence.
Okay. And will that take care of everyone after that?
I believe so, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. So let's go ahead and do position 14 first. Edward Hunt, who is charged in case 24 CR 001257E with battery. Is there a history, Ms. Harvey?
One cycle, Your Honor. The last arrest was August 10th, 2020, out of Rockdale County for battery, family violence, and obstructing a person hindering making an emergency telephone call. That was a conviction, Your Honor. Recommendation for pretrial is a level 3. Nothing further.
You got a brief facts of the case is that the incident took place at 310 Scripple, Scriple, Terrace, Northwest Atlanta, Georgia, and Fulton County, Georgia. The defendant grabbed the victim. The victim in this case is Kendral, or Kendral, Keith, Keith, by the neck and struck her head against a brick wall several times during an altercation. The victim sustained a knot on her head and scratches on her neck from the incident. He is a multi-state offender, Your Honor. Everything from New York to looks like Maryland to Florida to North Carolina, and as we are here in Georgia, we are seriously concerned about the flight risk there and several other Ayala factors. But the recommendation from the state is a $2,000 surety bond, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. A stay away from that 310 Scripple Terrace location, no further contact with Kentrell Keith, and a anger awareness course. And if we could sound for the victim Keith in accordance with Marcy's law, that'd be greatly appreciated, Your Honor.
Kentrell Keith is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity to do so. Mr. Ty.
Yes, Your Honor. My client is 62 years old. He's a military veteran. He is disabled and receives treatment at the VA. He does struggle with MH and substance addiction, but he is getting treatment for those things at the VA. Although, Your Honor, he does deny the allegations as stated in the warrant. He has lived in Georgia for over 2 years now. He is residentially challenged, but he has a Georgia ID and he has an address at the Salvation Army where he checks his mail. I would ask for a signature bond through pretrial services level 1. I don't believe an anger awareness course would be appropriate in this case, but I'll leave it up to discretion of the court. Nothing further.
Would he benefit from a social worker visit to assist him with housing, Mr. Ty?
I believe he would, Your Honor.
Okay, so I'll order that also. There'll be a $5,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. Social worker visit to assist with housing, stay away from the incident location, no further contact with Kendrell Keith, and no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I believe the last one is position 23. Torin Mott, who is charged in case 24 CR 001243E with battery. Is there a history, Ms. Harvey?
Yes, Your Honor. 18 cycles, at least 2 FTAs, and 3 probation violations. Last arrest was January 25th, 2023, out of Fulton County. There's a 2014 conviction for aggravated assault and battery, family violence, and terroristic threats. 2015 burglary and obstruction of a law enforcement officer. 2018 possession of marijuana less than an ounce. 2021 battery. 2022 terroristic threats. 2022 simple battery and reckless conduct. There are 2 open cases out of Fulton County. The first case is for false imprisonment, simple battery, and criminal attempt to commit a felony under 24 SC 000201. And the second case is for aggravated assault and aggravated battery under 24 SC 000497. Nothing further, Your Honor.
Yes, sure. Your Honor, from my understanding, this defendant has been in jail for the last 400 days. I believe this happened at the Union City Jail, perhaps. But the defendant was arrested for attacking D'Angelo Hawthorne. He was observed attacking the victim while he was lying on his back, punching him numerous times. The state is asking for a $2,000 surety bond, no contact with D'Angelo Hawthorne, no weapon, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond.
Your Honor, my client, Mr. Mott, is actually, this is a Riverside issue because this warrant was issued on February 22nd, 2024, which is almost 3 or 4 weeks ago. And he has been in the jail from January 25, 2023. I would like to request for signature on bond through jail. He has a huge other felony charges that, you know, he will not go anywhere. So that's it, Your Honor.
One second, Your Honor.
Those
Show you the dates, right?
charges will be enough for him to kind of like stay in the jail a long time. Oops.
I don't believe that's the correct date, but either way, that's fine. He's in jail like on a close to $100,000 bond, and he's been there for over a year. So
Signature bond through the jail, no further contact with D'Angelo Hawthorne, and no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond.
Your Honor, repeat that you were muzzled.
$2,000 signature bond through the jail.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks, Your Honor.
All right. I believe that completes the 2 o'clock calendar.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you all. We'll go over the calendar and
Excuse me, Judge, do y'all see the chat from Mr. Wilcox's sister?
did she get off the line?
No, sir. She said her name is Bree. She's up under Bree.
Oh, yeah, please. That would be great. Mr. Woodcox.
we didn't hear from her, but I don't think she provided any information that the state didn't say.
No, Mr. Walker, she was stating, she left it in the chat that her mom was on and her mom wants
I know. I told the
okay.
judge that we had contact with the mother, and the mother
Okay.
did say that she wanted the defendant back. And I said that she's elderly, which Bree stated in the chat, and there's some concern if he would strike his own mother and kick her door in. So the state is still asking for no contact.
My mom is not elderly.
Okay.
Okay. Now, what's your name, ma'am?
Shamil Wilcox.
Okay, Ms. Wilcox. If you'd like to address this matter, can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, what did you want to tell the court?
My mom is not elderly. She walks, she talks, she works, she do all that. She's very fine. She did say that, you know, she want him back at home. And he never hit her. The mattress hit her. As he was moving his things, the mattress hit her. He never physically put his hands on her nor touched her.
And Your Honor, this happened on August 19, 2022.
Okay, thank you for being here this afternoon, ma'am. Ms. Bridgewater, I'm going to change the no further contact in position number 28, Mr. Wilcox, to no further violent contact with Rosa Wilcox.
Okay, are we gonna take away that stay away?
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Thank you for being here this afternoon, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Okay, whenever you're ready, Ms. Bridgewater.
Okay, here I come. Oh, okay.
You're a little muffled.
Okay. All right, everybody. Once again, the reset date for the SAP calendar is April the 2nd. Ooh, okay. Positions 1, 2, and 3 are being reset till tomorrow. Position 4 is reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through the jail. 5 is reset further notice with a total $4,000 SOB through pretrial. 6 is reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through pretrial. 7, reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through pretrial. 8, reset further notice, I'm showing a $4,000 total SOB through pretrial. 9, reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through pretrial. 10, reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through pretrial. 11, reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through pretrial. 12, reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through pretrial. 13 was released, so therefore to be reset further notice. 14, reset further notice with a $5,000 SOB through pretrial. 15, reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through the jail. 16, reset further notice with a total $3,000 SOB through the jail. 17, reset further notice with a $1,000 SOB through the jail. 18, reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through pretrial. 19, I'm sorry? Okay. 19 is reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through the jail. 20, reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through pretrial. 21, reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through pretrial. 22, reset further notice with a $5,000 SOB through pretrial. 23, reset further notice with the $2,000 SOB through the jail. 24, reset further notice with a $5,000 SOB through pretrial. 25, reset further notice with a total $3,000 SOB through pretrial. 26, reset further notice with a total $1,000 SOB through the jail. 27, reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through pretrial. 28 is reset further notice with a total $3,000 SOB through pretrial with a no further violent contact, and we took away the stay away. 29 is reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through pretrial. Add-on 1 is reset further notice with a total $2,000 SOB through the jail. Position 2, reset further notice with a total $2,000 SOB through the jail. And add-on 3 is reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through pretrial. Any questions? Comments? Otherwise?
Okay, if not, thank you all. I'll see you tomorrow afternoon.
I have one quick question, Mr.
There was a question coming. You knew it was a question coming.
Sorry, I had to unmute. What was the amount on, position 24 again?
I can't.
24, Ms. Bridgewater.
24? Okay, I heard 24. What was the question about it?
What's the amount?
24 was a $5,000 SOB through pretrial.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Your Honor, welcome back.
Yes.
Welcome
What's that?
back. Welcome back. Yes, sir.
I appreciate your help as always.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you.
Yes, you made it go. So thank you. I appreciate
You
it.
made it go. I guarantee you.
All right. I'll see everybody tomorrow.
All right, thank you.
Bye-bye.
I'm going to send this tomorrow. Or tonight.